Hey guys, I am going to go ahead and show you guys some books that I have bought since I already have like a bigger pile here than what I meant to do, but I've gone to Goodwills and that type of thing a lot recently just to look for clothes and stuff for our little guys because honestly that's the best place to get them whenever they're practically brand new and you can buy them for cheap. So I wanted to go ahead before this pile would get any bigger. I'm thinking I shouldn't be buying any more books after this, but who knows. I was going to show you bookmarks that I have bought, but I have lost one, and I have no idea where it's at unless it's in this pile of books. But the first one is like a beach one, beach rules, collecting seashells, all that kind of stuff. I got this because we are going to the beach again this year, and I just thought it was a pretty one anyway. And then the next one is in my book. I'm reading Get Well Soon. This one says, my workout is reading in bed until my arms hurt. And that is what that one looks like. You gotta get new bookmarks every once in a while, right? Right. And there's another one that is like this. Oh, I know where it's at. I think it's in my Unravel Me book. It's really pretty with pretty colorful, bright flowers and like I think like black flowers too maybe or something. I can't even remember. Okay, anyway. I am going to show you a book that I recently or already had previously, but I ended up giving it away because I didn't think that I would end up reading it, and then I changed my mind. And so I bought it again. And it is Death Note, the Black Edition, which this contains volume 1 and 2. And it's got the black pages. I ended up getting rid of it whenever I was going through my books to make room for like homeschooling material on my bookshelves, and I thought I would not end up reading it, and then like I changed my mind, so I did end up buying it. This is Decline and Fall by Evelyn Waugh. I bought this. This is the book that I had told you guys previously about that I was going to be buying because I went and picked up, what is the book called? I don't remember what the other book is. Vile Bodies. I picked up Vile Bodies and I was going to read it, but then there was a note from Evelyn saying that you didn't have to read this book, but it was good to read this book before reading that book, so I decided that I wanted to pick this up, and this is like a matching cover to that book. I think I bought it off Book Depository. No, I bought it from Thrift Books because I wanted one that actually matched. And I'm not telling you what any of these things are about. Oh well. You can look them up. Alice in the Country of Hearts by Quinn Rose Sumai Hoshina, maybe. This I had actually got from the library a few years ago. It was each individual volume. I don't remember what this has. I think it might be like volumes 1 and 2. I honestly do not remember what this has in it. But I loved these books, so I decided that I was going to go ahead and see if I could get them. Plus, there's like other ones, I can't even remember what they are. Something about clovers and all that. It's not just Alice in the Country of Hearts. I would love to get every single one of them because I enjoyed this as far as what my library had. But I think this is volume 1 and 2, and this is actually supposed to be in used condition, but to me it looks like it is pretty much new. So I'm excited about that, and I am so going to read this again because I enjoyed reading it from the library. The next thing I actually got from the Dollar Tree. It's After Obsession by Carrie Jones and Stephen E. Waddell. And I saw this at the Dollar Tree, I think it was yesterday actually, and I don't know, I just wanted to read it, and I'm really not quite sure what it's about, but it's by Carrie Jones, so I wanted to give it a try. I don't know. 4 stages, none of them pretty. Invitation, infestation, obsession, possession. I don't know what this is about. It could be a horror book, and I don't read horror books. I don't know. We're going to find out, though. I also found this. It is Angel City by John Steele. It is part 2 of the, and I don't know how they say it, Angelus or Angelus trilogy. I'm not sure. I want to read The Watchers. I have it on my Amazon wish list, and then I just now put it on Goodreads because I didn't realize that I didn't have it on Goodreads, but I saw this, and this is book 2 in that series. So I need to buy The Watchers now so that I can read it, and then I've got this already, so I can do that, and then of course I'll have to have a third book so that I can finish the series, or trilogy. I recently bought The Yellow Wallpaper and Other Stories by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, and I can't even remember who it was that was talking about this. I think they had to read it for a class or something. This sounded so interesting to me. I think possibly they think that this lady's going crazy, or she is going crazy, and something to do with the wallpaper, and then there's other stories in here, not just that one, and I know that's a crazy little synopsis there, but I don't know, it sounded very interesting, and I wanted to get it, and it's a little tiny book, but I wanted to try it because I thought it sounded very interesting. Ooh! This book I got, it's an ARC, and it's called The Father by Anton, or Anton, I'm not sure how you would say his name, Svensson, and this is, I think, translated from Swedish, I think. It is inspired by a true story, something to do with these brothers who end up robbing banks or something in the 1990s. Their father's the one who got them into it or something. I can't really remember. I just know that it sounded absolutely really good, and I think it's a two-part. I think this is like part 1, and then there'll be a second part. And I really wanted to read this, and so who sent this to me? I've got the paper. Quirkus, I'm not really sure how to say that, but they sent it to me, and I can't wait to try it. I'm hoping it really is good. I mean, it's kind of interesting, the fact that it is based on a true story. These are from Book Depository, because I ordered a book from Book Depository, and this time they sent me 2 bookmarks. And it is Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. I thought this sounded fabulous, and everybody was talking about it, and I ordered it from Book Depository because it is paperback, which is my preferred whatever. And isn't it pretty? That is just gorgeous with the gold. So I'm really excited. I can't even remember exactly what this has to do with. An epic story of swirling desert sands, love, magic, and revolution. Oh, yeah, that sounds really good. The next I had bought from the Dollar Tree, and it is To Serve a King by Donna Russo Morin, I don't know. Anything to do with this time period, I am going to read, so I immediately picked it up, not even worrying about reading what it was truly about. I mean, I kind of did, but I know it's something to do with maybe, possibly, she's kind of like a spy, this girl is, and the King of France is her enemy. So I don't know. I thought it kind of sounded good whenever I kind of just looked through it really quick. I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it because I usually like to read those books. This is a Goodwill buy. It's The Tree People by Naomi M. Stokes. I just thought it looked interesting. I think it's kind of like fantasy, but yet it has things to do with Native Americans, and which is my ancestors were Native American, so anything to do with that usually does pique my interest. But I thought this was interesting because it's fantasy and Native Americans, and so I wanted to give it a try. And I also found this at Goodwill. It is Fort Freak, a Wild Cards novel, and it's edited by George R.R. Martin. I have the first book in a Wild Cards series or whatever. I think what this is this is like bunches of stories about this world. So when I saw it and it was so cheap at Goodwill, I thought, I don't care that I don't have the whole series. I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up since it is like a bunch of stories about that world. And the next thing, I don't know, I just had to get it. It doesn't have a dust cover. It is from Goodwill as well. It's science fiction, classic stories from the golden age of science fiction. And these are, I'm turning it the wrong way. These are stories that were written like in the 1940s. here. 1940s, like 1947, and I think possibly there's like a 67 or something. I don't know. I kind of wanted to give this a try. I think that's very interesting to read science fiction from that time period. So, I don't know. As soon as I saw it, I had to pick it up. The next is because I want to get started on this series, and I think there's like a point 0.5 or something, and that's why I wanted to get this. And it is The Assassin's Blade, which this is Throne of Glass novellas by Sarah J. Maas. And that was the reason why I bought this, because I want to get started. And like I said, I think one of these is 0.5. So I wanted to read it before I got started on the first book. That was the only reason. The next was something that was sent to me by Algonquin Young Readers. A Fierce and Subtle Poison. A Fierce and Subtle Poison by Samantha Mabry. It's an arc. And this sounds very interesting as well. Some say she grants wishes, some say her touch kills, one boy is drawn into her enchanted world. It sounds fabulous, and this is one that I actually really want to read this month, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it this month, since I really kind of want to try to read the books I said I was going to read, but I really want to read this one. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I might end up reading it this month, and I might not. Here's another book that I replaced. I got rid of it because I thought for sure I was not going to read it, and then I just heard such awesome things about it again, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy it. I bought it used. It wasn't expensive, so I just picked it up again. And it's Eon, I still don't know how you say it, by Alison Goodman. I just decided that I really wanted to. And I think it's a girl who pretends to be a boy. But I think it's because she has to learn magic and boys are only allowed to learn magic or something. I just heard good things about it again, so I decided I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to read it. I don't have the second book anymore because I gave it away, so I will have to pick that up. This is from the Dollar Tree. I just thought it was very interesting, and I thought it actually would be good little projects for my boys and I to do for homeschool. And it's called This Belongs to Me, Cool Ways to Personalize Your Stuff by Anna Ray. And it's this big old book. And it actually folds out the whole thing. I'm not really sure why, but it does. And what the whole book is different ways that you can personalize your things. Like, it will tell you exactly what to do. School bag stencils, headphones, tattoos, how to make a notebook look like yours, vinyl wall stickers, different things like that. And it also gives you freestyle space where you can practice. Like, I think this is your tattoo thing. I just thought some of it would be very interesting to do with the boys. The next is a Dollar Tree buy. It is Earthbound by April Lynn Pike. And I had never even heard of this, but it's by April Lynn Pike, and that was the reason why that I picked it up. Given that right after I picked this up, I saw somebody say something on YouTube about it, saying that they did not enjoy it, that they were disappointed by it. But yet, there are really good ratings for it. I mean, there are some people who have given it great ratings. So, I don't know. We'll find out whether it's good or not. The next is also a Dollar Tree buy. Parlor Games by Marca, I don't know. Biagio, I don't know. This obviously has to do with the 1920s or the 1940s? Probably almost 1920s. That was the reason why I picked it up. And I think it has to do with a lady who has different, not personalities, identities. She goes from one person to the next person to the next person, like different identities, trying to escape the cops or something. And I thought this sounded really, really good. Like, I'm excited to read it. And this, I think, possibly is from the Dollar Tree. Archetype, I don't know how you say that, by M.D. Waters. It's a signed copy, which really I don't honestly get excited about. I really don't. Because I usually give my books away after I'm done reading them. So, it's not like I'm going to keep it. I don't even remember what this is about. And something to do with a lady who wakes up in a hospital. She doesn't have memory of her husband, there's something fishy about her husband, is what I remember. So, I don't know. I just thought that kind of sounded interesting. The next one I think is Dollar Tree as well. Enchantments by Catherine Harrison, and immediately whenever I saw the cover, I had to buy it. I don't even know what it's about. I remember reading about it. I think it has to do with Russia. Yes, in 1917 in Russia. It actually has some magic in it, which I thought was kind of interesting. I think it has magic. It sounds like it has magic. So I don't know. I'm excited about reading that too because I thought that was different. And this is the last one. Mountains of the Moon by I.J.K. I just now got that. I did not notice that before. I.J.K. Yeah. Just saw that. And I don't even remember what this is about, but whenever I read, and it doesn't give you a whole lot of information, if you can see. But I thought, like, what I did read, it sounded interesting. I know that there is, like, a bunch of names, and I think they're, like, going to the police or something, or the police are giving interviews. Something weird happened, is all I know, and, like, they're being interviewed by the police, or they've been caught by the police, something. It was very strange. I mean, because there's, like, a whole list of names on the back of the people who are involved. I don't know. I thought it sounded interesting, and I wanted to give it a try. But that is it. I do have one book coming, Where the Rainbow Ends, I think is what it's called. But it has been taking forever to get here, and I don't need to buy any more books. So I wanted to show those because it was such a large amount. So that's all, and I will see you guys later.